Hi, everybody. I want to welcome you back to episode 2 of Artful Leadership. This is our second interview today, and I'm going to be talking to Melissa Grove, the president and founder of Rock and Roll Camp for Girls here in San Diego. Well, thank you so much for agreeing to be on my second episode of my new little show. I'm having so much fun, just getting to know local leaders in the arts who are providing amazing opportunities for youth. So I'm excited to share these awesome conversations with others who get excited about the same things that we do. So.
Yeah, good job, you.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yay. So before you hopped on, I did a little intro, just like who you are. But if you could just tell us yourself a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Okay, hello. I'm Melissa Grove, and I run Rock and Roll Camp for Girls San Diego with a very powerful team. I'm the president and the founder. Yet again, I have a team that supports me nonstop. So what that looks like is we are a week-long summer camp. Mm-hmm. And so I'm the camp director for that week-long summer camp, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. And then we have a finale showcase on Saturday. So currently we have just the 1 week summer camp. With growth in the next couple of years, I hope that grows to more weeks. So that's who I am.
Very cool. So, and how we met was through Monarch, because you guys gave scholarships to Monarch girls, and that was such a success that we were like, hey, let's see what else we can do together.
So wonderful.
Yeah. So what's something that you guys are working on that you're super excited about, or you want people to know a little bit more about right now?
Oh my gosh. Well, obviously I love our summer camp so much, and that's coming in July. We'll launch enrollment for that at the end of February. So that's July 22nd to the 26th, with our finale showcase on the 27th at the House of Blues. So that's a big project in itself. Although this year this will be our second year, we're running a program for ladies. So it's 18 and older.
Nice.
So that's where we're at right now, because that's in March. That's the end of March 22nd.
And are you guys full, or are you still enrolling for the ladies rock? You still have 7 spots.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Last year we had 17 ladies. This year we're aiming for 30. So we're getting close.
Wow.
Yeah, and we're really excited. Again, it's a full band. So, we have the vocalist, keys, guitar, bass, and drums. Right now our vocals and drums are full, but keys, bass, and guitars, we're looking for 7 more spots on that.
Awesome. And so people watching this might say, that's me. I want to do that. So what do they do?
Ladies, 18 and older. It is such a fun experience. It's 3 days, and you come on a Friday, you form a band, you start learning an instrument, start writing a song. You spend all of Saturday with us doing all of that with your band. And then on Sunday, you perform at the House of Blues in the Voodoo Lounge, or the Voodoo Room. So it's a lot of fun. It's an intense, fun program of bonding and collaborating with musicians, female musicians. And I feel like it's everything we wanted when we were young. It was to form a band and be in a band, right?
Yeah.
So now we're grown up and we're like, yeah, I'm totally doing that. Yeah. So we do it in 3 days, and it's a lot of fun. Again, that's March 22nd to the 24th. Mm-hmm. And so it's the end of the month. And then, you can find that on rockcampforgirlssd.org.
Okay. rockcampforgirlssd.org.
Yep.
They want to apply. Cool. And so when you guys do your camp for youth, what age ranges are you guys working with, and how many girls are coming to your camp?
So we target for 40 girls. And that's ages 8 to 11, and then 12 to 17. So we have 2 age groups, you know, we call them the cassettes and the records.
Right.
And then that gives us 8 bands, 4 bands of the youngs and 4 bands of the olders. So it's 40 girls. Last year we went with 46. So we actually had 9 bands. If it happens again, it happens again. But we aimed for 40 girls.
Wow. And then you guys have this great showcase at House of Blues.
Yes.
Where all the bands feature what they've done, right?
Yeah. Their original songs that they've been working on for those 5 days.
That is so cool. Well, and I know the girls, how many Monarch girls did we have? Like 6 Monarch girls last year?
Yeah, last year was 6 girls.
Yeah, because I know that just was the highlight of their summer. They have just blossomed, and we've got a couple of those girls who have just, they're so much more engaged in our expressive arts groups and in different leadership opportunities on campus and stuff. And it's just, it was a phenomenal experience for them. So I know what you're doing.
So glad. I mean, that's really our intention, is like, we are an empowerment camp using music. Right. So to give them the chance for 5 days to try on the drums or try on a guitar or express themselves through vocals, you know, because they can always carry that in after, or it really is a life-changing experience from what I hear from parents and guardians. It's just, you know, and it's a fast 5 days, so they can continue on with their education afterwards. A lot of times we have repeat girls who come back the next year, and they were vocals one year, and next year they'll try drums. So they're just kind of feeling out what instrument they love. And it's really special.
Yeah. Well, I'm so sad that I missed the showcase last year, because I think I was just coming back from my trip to Vietnam and Laos.
Okay.
And I think I had just gotten back like 2 days before, and I was completely toast and I didn't make it, but I really want to see it this year. I know our principal went, and he was just floored by how cool it was.
It was fun. Monarch had a whole little tribe come out.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing, for the girls to be on this huge House of Blues stage and look out and have so much support in the audience, maybe for the first time in their lives, or maybe in a different format or self-expression. It's so fun. It's my favorite part, because I host the show, I MC the show, and to be on stage and look at all the dads who are in the audience so excited, you know, and supporting their daughters. It's so fun. Yeah. And then the moms are there, and the families are there, and the grandmas are there, and neighbors are there. It's really fun.
Yeah. And so you're at the main stage?
Yeah, the big one.
So cool.
Yeah. It's House of Blues has been a fantastic partner, and just allowing us to showcase the girls on this, you know, legit stage. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. So that's all like the super cool stuff.
Yes.
I'm curious, are there any challenges that you guys are dealing with right now, or for you as a leader, or for the camp, or for your artists? Just
you know, yes, I would say year after year, one of our biggest challenges is really a facility. We need a lot of space to have, you know, 5 different instruments. And so we always look for a big space. Luckily this year we'll be at Arts, A Reason to Survive in National City. They can accommodate us for a lot of space. We're almost even growing out of that space.
Yeah.
So we'll make it work. But, you know, that's a big thing that we look for every year, is a facility. A lot of arts programs look for facilities, and you know, they're used to getting 1 room or 2 room, but we need at least 6 rooms. Yeah. So that's one of our biggest challenges every year. And I think the other one would probably be what every other arts program says, which is time management and the ability to conquer all that you want to. With your capacity is. Yeah.
And I'm curious, as you guys grow, I mean, I know you kind of alluded to that earlier, that will you guys eventually grow into more than 1 camp so that you can kind of accommodate that growth and be able to accomplish a little bit more in each camp?
I really hope so.
Yeah.
You know, there's 140 of these camps all over the world was the last number I heard. And so, and we all operate differently. The closest one to us right now is Orange County, and they do a week-long summer camp. And then LA has 2 weeks, but they empower 80 girls each week. So it's a program that's growing in the community, and I think eventually we'll either do a second week in another location. I'm hoping maybe North County, you know, just to split it up. Santa Barbara runs after school programming and sleepaways. So there's flexibility. I'm just kind of still, this is our 4th year, just kind of understanding the landscape in San Diego. What's needed? Where can we fill the void? But I see us growing into a second week for sure.
Do you guys have like a particular kind of girl that you're really wanting to reach, like a certain population?
All girls. I want all girls to have the experience of rocking on the stage. You know, we provide scholarships for girls who can't afford it. So if that's a target for that year, we kind of gauge it every year on the uniqueness of the girls that show up. So yeah, I just believe if you want to rock on stage playing an instrument, yes, please come to our camp. We can definitely show you how to do that. So the target is any girl, any female identified girl that wants to come from ages 8 to 17, sign up. If you need financial support, we fundraise all year for that. So yes, we can support you in that. But really, any girl who wants to participate should have the opportunity.
Yeah. And it sounds like, because I also follow you guys on social media, you guys have some pretty great instructors in your camp, and those are all volunteers, right?
All volunteers.
Rock stars.
I mean, these musicians, I idolize what they do in San Diego with, you know, they donate a lot of time to other organizations, and they gig, and they are music therapists, and they do so much in the community already. And for me to get them for 40 hours for that summer camp is such an honor. But yeah, I look up to them, and I get emotional every year thinking about, because it takes, you know, at least 30 volunteers to run the camp every year. And that could be a non-musician who can help us with support in other areas. But most of them are musicians who instruct guitar or instruct bass or keys. So yeah, I'm so grateful that these local San Diego legends in my world join me every week.
Yeah. Are you allowed to name any names of who you're?
Yeah,
can you tell us who some of them are? I know who some of them are.
Like starstruck all of a sudden. Sorry, my cat has to use the restroom.
So you've got some great people on your team.
Yeah, so I can tell you, there's Emma Bird, there's Veronica May, Kenny Dye, yes, Paige Miller. Oh gosh, let me look at my little picture that I actually have framed in front of me. Sarah Milan. There's so many of them that just come and just donate the whole week. At Ladies Camp too, we have a smaller group of volunteers because ladies don't need bathroom buddies, which is great. So we have a smaller volunteer team then too, but they dedicate the whole week to us. So it's great.
Wow. So how is that for you to be working with so many amazing artists? I mean, I find being around people like that is just so inspiring to me. And it's like you said, like you get emotional, like there's something about what artists give that is just such a unique presence, a unique way of interacting with youth who might be dealing with challenges. And I'm just kind of curious if you have any like really cool stories about that, or
I think what I'm finding with these musicians, which I didn't expect to find this because, I focus so much on empowering the girls. But then what I quickly learned is that these artists and musicians in their day-to-day are, they don't get to collaborate. The females are individually gigging or performing, or actually we like this female voice for this project other than this one. So what came to light for me was that this is a fantastic group of females who don't get the chance to collaborate. Yeah. And so what comes out of that the first year was that they started collaborating together and gigging together and, fully forming all female bands. And so that was such a eye-opener for me because I didn't expect the mentors and the volunteers to have as much fun as the kids and me, but they do. And so they start collaborating outside of camp. And that was a good find in the music world because I noodle around on my acoustic guitar, but when it comes to actually running a workshop that's out of my capability. So having these mentors come in and own it and give me feedback, or I'll say, hey, can we do this? And they're like, no, that's the wrong format. I'm like, oh, but we can do this. I'm like, oh, there you go. So it's just like working together in a non-musical versus musical world that I've been so inspired by. And I do pick up my guitar more. And I do, if I have a meeting with all of them, I run home and pick up my guitar because it's just so inspiring. Yeah.
Well, and I would imagine that them having these close connections with each other also enriches what happens at the camp for them as facilitators and teachers, and the way that they're able to bring things together if they have really great relationships with each other and they're having all this good experience of, rocking out together or whatever. I would imagine that really impacts the quality of what you're doing and will ongoing.
I love seeing, if they're in instrument instruction, I love seeing the lead drummer come out and say, hey, vocalist, so-and-so has an idea. Would you go in there and work with her on it? It's that exchange where I own the guitar, or I own the drums. Hey, but vocalists, go in and tap in and see that collaboration. I don't think they get a chance to do. So, as much as they're instrument instructors later in the day, they become band coaches. Mm-hmm. And that's really to bring the girls together and say, oh, okay, you've learned this. How about matching it up with this? And so that leadership that they get to have is so cool to watch.
Yeah. Wow. That's super cool. So, when you were kind of putting this whole thing together, I'm just really curious, was there an artist that inspired you to do this, or was there an experience or something? How did you come up with this idea of doing this rock?
Okay, so back, I believe it was my close friends run the Los Angeles one.
Okay.
So, and I believe it started in 2010, and and they had formed it because they were part of this, alliance of all the camps. So when they started the LA version, I kind of just watched them from afar for about 6 years. Mm-hmm. And then it wasn't until they started their ladies camp that I thought, you know what? This interests me. Like I've always wanted to rock on stage. So I signed up for their ladies camp in LA as a guitarist. Uh-huh. And at that point, I literally had picked up my acoustic guitar maybe 5 times. I don't even know. So, so the excitement was like, yes, yes, yes. And then it got closer and I thought, what am I doing? I'm not a musician. I got nervous. I had anxiety. I had meltdowns. And then I got there and I experienced the support and the instruction and the collaboration. And it was life-changing. So that was, I think that was 2013. I had my band, we wrote a song, we performed at a LA venue, and it was so life-changing that I thought, okay, I want to try this again. So the next year I went back and did bass.
Hi!
Oh, Tom. This is Tommy.
Hi, Tommy.
That's so funny. Are we in your window, bud? Oh, that's so funny. So then I went to, then I played bass the next year. And that is when I walked off the stage and I thought, okay, I'm going to start this in San Diego and just own it.
Yeah.
And so I came back and I created a team. And as I'm in nonprofit management, so that part to me was like, oh, I'll just, do my spreadsheet, file for status, everything's fine. And then I remembered I'm not a musician. So I started recruiting people and it just kept growing and growing. And then we saw the need, and the first year we sold out. So it just kind of took on its own life. And so that validated the camp and the whole experience and why I'm doing it. So it's been fun.
Yeah. Well, and I love that hi. Hello.
I'm so sorry.
Music.
He's a lover.
No, I was just gonna say that I think it's so important if you're working in this theme of empowerment and you know what it's like to be an inexperienced person and freaking out and being nervous and wondering, what am I doing here? And all those things that all those girls are feeling when they're coming to the camp. And
absolutely. And I can tell that story. And I can share that story because I really did. I mean, from a non-musician and then sitting in a room full of, top-notch musicians, it was eye-opening. Yeah. And I say now to myself, whenever something's challenging, I'm like, oh my God, you got on a stage knowing 2 chords in Los Angeles, you're good. You can do this. Right. So I hope to plant that seed with the girls too, that anything's possible, and just noodle around. It's not a forever thing. It's, you get to have this support for the week and you get to carry it for the rest of your life, but you don't have to play that guitar forever. You can actually try something next year, or, and so that was something good for me to see that. First of all, nobody knew my song. So if I was going to mess up, I just
don't know that.
Yeah. I'm like, this is great. Whoops. This is great. So, and that's another important practice, is to understand that there's so many ways to do something. So have fun with it.
Yeah. Well, I just love that idea of that sort of touchstone experience that they have in their bodies, like I got on a stage and I did this amazing thing. And I think of like the kids that I work with, like those kinds of experiences are so important to them to have, when they're feeling down or when they're up against this like craziness of the homeless life or whatever they're dealing with, they can be like, you know what, this happened for me and this can continue to be possible for me. And these are the circumstances that made that happen. And I just think it's such a gift to the girls that you're working with. Like
and I often hear back from the mentors, like, this is a reminder of why I got into music, because they've been in music for their whole lives. So they're, at this such a beautiful level where they can play anything. But then when they come and they visit with the girls and they have to bring it back and like start from scratch, and they often say to me, this is exactly why I got into music. Thank you for the reminder. And, because sometimes it's a business for them. And so to tap back into, self-expression and what brings me joy. It's fun to watch them tap back into that.
Yeah. So that's a nice segue to one of my questions for you, which is like, why music for you? Like, what's your connection to music?
Oh my gosh. Well, since the day I received my record player, no, music has just been a common theme in my life forever and ever. It's my escape. I was never the musician because my brother, who was 15 years older than me, was the best guitar player ever. I think he learned when he was, 2 days old or something ridiculous. And his
I can relate.
Yeah, exactly. And so I was able to watch him perform on that acoustic guitar like no other my whole life. And so he was the musician of the family. I think we shared this one time. He was the musician of the family. So I felt a little bit more like a little dramatic. So I took the drama route and the theater route, but music was always in my, and I always thought I wanted to work with musicians, but I'm not a musician. So how do I work with musicians? And so I think through the course of my life and so many different careers and opportunities, and it brought me to this beautiful space where I get to coordinate musicians, which is both my skill loves, and then and jam with them when they'll allow me. No, jam with them when we have jam sessions, and just have fun with it. So it kind of, I mean, music has just been my go-to forever, just not performance.
Yeah. So, but it sounds like it's something that you still really enjoy doing, just for your own pleasure. And
absolutely. And I can appreciate it now that I've noodled around a little bit more. I'm able to like really go, wow, that's a skill that you worked hard on, or like I can appreciate that. My brother used to say, I envy you because you hear a full song. When I hear the song, I go, oh, the guitar, oh, okay, the drums, oh. And he would pick it apart, where as a non-musician, you could hear the full song and just have fun with it.
Just experience it. Yeah. And not,
but I can sometimes, if I'll sit there and listen and appreciate each instrument, like now that I've worked, with the camps and musicians so long.
Yeah. Very cool. So I think you and I talked last time we met that we've both been taking on a little ukulele.
Yes, it's right here. That's fun.
My friend was telling me that I should create like a little intro on my ukulele for these interviews that I'm doing. So I'm like, how do I make some like little intro jingle for the Artful Leadership interview series? So I have to figure it out.
Let me tell you, may I tell you, when I was starting rock camp, my biggest fear that I had to work with was our theme song, because all camps have a theme song. And I thought, how am I going to do a theme song? Filing for nonprofit status, talking to attorneys and lawyers did not scare me. It was that theme song. So I recruited musicians, Veronica May being one of them, and they created this fantastic little ditty that we play at camp, and we close our camp out with every day and the showcase and stuff like that. But I think you should do it. And I'm trying to learn the song because it's a little bit more, it's an electric guitar and it's got all kinds of riffs and it's so fun. But give it a go.
Okay, I will. I'm gonna keep working with that. I like that. So I'm wondering if it sounds like you work with a lot of really great local musicians. Are there any sort of local art leaders or musicians or whatever that you want to give a shout out to, or that is especially,
I sit in a wonderful space where I get to meet a lot of art educators and art leaders, and there's all of them I would love to shout out to, because San Diego is doing such great things for our youth. And it feels like we identify a challenge or a hole and we just fill it. So all educators, all arts educators, people who are dedicating their time and energy to our youth, I acknowledge 100%, because it's so important and fading a little bit here and there. So there's not one specific person. You and I know so many leaders that I would miss somebody if I named them all, but anybody who is doing that for our youth or underserved, I praise you.
Yeah, I feel the same way. And that's partly why I want to do this little show, because I think it's so fun to expose our community to who these amazing individuals are and these incredible organizations that are doing this work sort of quietly trudging away, doing their stuff. And it's so impactful. When you zoom out and you think about how impactful all of these experiences with these incredible people and with these creative experiences are over the long term for youth's lives. And you can't always quantify that right away, you know what I mean, but it's so impactful. And so I'm just having a blast, like kind of creating my list of all the people that I want to talk to. And part of the reason why I ask if there's anybody you would shout out or whatever, or there's anybody that you would recommend that I add to my list, you know, you can email me.
Oh, yeah, I would love to. I mean, any of the mentors in the Rock Camp program are all doing amazing things, you know, outside of Rock Camp and in their 9-to-5ers if they have them.
Right.
But, you know, there's so much. I go on Facebook and I just, my smile is so big because everybody's doing all these fun things. Yeah. So I have a list. I'll send you a list.
Okay.
No
Cool. Awesome. Well, I'm thinking, is there anything else that you would like folks in the community to know about what you're doing, or ways that they can support the camp or the Ladies Rock, or anything?
I think for us, again, resources are always great. Any like instrument donations or space, if you know of a space that has 6, you know, rooms that could house a rock camp. Those are our 2 big needs. We do donations. Money is great because we give scholarships. So those are pretty much our 3 big wish list items. And when I say instruments, it's guitar, full drums, keys, vocal setup, and bass. So we're constantly looking for that so that we can grow camp.
Okay.
But those are our big needs. And come to our showcases. Yeah. They are so fun. And you will stand there and it'll click. Oh my gosh, these girls wrote this song this week, you know, and it's so fun to hear their words, and, you know, they bring in life experience even at such a young age. So support us by going to the shows. That's huge for us. And that's, those are fundraisers. So yeah.
Awesome. All right. So space, donations, funds. Yeah. You have a couple of spots left in the ladies camp, yeah, and that's the end of March. And so people go to www.rockcampforgirlssd.org.
Yep.
Correct? All right. Well, Melissa Grove, president and founder, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
A little time.
Yes.
And tell us about your awesome work. I can't wait to see what happens for you guys this year.
Thank you so much. And thank you for giving us a platform to share too. I love it. It's perfect.
Awesome. Well, we'll be in touch.